We can talk to Kerry-Anne Mendoza, who's editor-at-large of The Canary, which is a left-wing political website. And very good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Very sad end to the Corbyn project, isn't it, which you have been a big supporter of. This is where it ends, though, isn't it, really, completely?
No, I think what we've seen today is the end game of a political coup. This is, and always has been, a witch hunt. And it's probably the most disgusting, vitriolic, abusive smear campaign I have witnessed in my life, and I have seen some. And it's essentially a group of people who have taken the dark decision to weaponize Jewish trauma in order to conduct a factional political battle.
But
it's nakedly, transparently cynical. And
many
in the
would
center
say,
of it
many,
is
I
it,
understand
sorry,
the point.
if I could,
okay,
in
finish.
the center of it is a man, Jeremy Corbyn, a human being, the most committed anti-racist MP that our parliament has, who has decades of service in and out of parliament, fighting on behalf of marginalised people, lynched. It is an abuse. It is foul.
I understand your point. Many would say you, Corbyn and others, have a complete mental block over this, that you cannot see that some of the words, some of the things that have been said, some of the policies, not the policies, some of the pronouncements on social media are clearly anti-Semitic. You've never been able to apologise for it. You've never been able to recognise it or admit it.
That's
and
just
that is why you
true,
are where you
That's
are.
Simply not
you heard
true.
the clip with Andrew Neil,
even
didn't you?
in the clip you included with Andrew Neil, Jeremy was making a clear commitment to anti-racism of all kinds, privileging no community over any other.
It is interesting that he always says,
leader of the Labour Party, Stalin, who has decided to completely ignore targeted abuse against black MPs in the Labour Party by the party's own staff, has completely ignored it.
That's your allegation. We haven't got time to get into that.
But we should, because if someone is claiming
we need to look into that
anti-racist,
before we start
they
reporting
need
it.
to
We need to look into that before we start reporting it. But I wonder whether, given that you have your very strongly held views, you were very out of sync with the EHRC, you're very out of sync with the Labour Party, you're out of sync with the front bench, whether this isn't the day that Labour can put your whole project behind it and appeal to mainstream Britain, who are not believing like you do, that you've handled this event, that you've handled this issue well.
I apologise, Evan, but none of this is coming from mainstream Britain. This is a tiny group of obscenely powerful people who have used their positions to launch a political assassination. We have pro-Israel organisations who lodge a complaint of anti-Semitism, no matter how tenuous. The press then elevates that accusation.
EHRC, I cannot believe you're saying that. We have the EHRC have investigated it. You set up your...
17 months, Evan. 17 months they've had. And in all that time, they have uncovered two cases. This is a party of 500,000 people. If you find any group of 500,000 people in this racist country that we're living in and don't find a handful of racists, I'll defy you to try and do it. And it's impossible.
It was the way it was handled that was their critique. Kerry-Anne Mendoza, thank you very much for talking to us.